First grade. This is
Hi,
our
first grade.
first grade teacher, Mrs. Terry.
Hi, Miss Terry.
This is our aide, Miss Karen.
Hi, Miss Karen.
And this is our author, everybody, Izzy B.
Hello.
All right.
Dude, I taught first grade for 3 years, so it's pretty fun. Actually, honestly, to be honest, teaching first grade is what made me fall in love with books. Because I was writing books before first grade, but first grade is what made me really fall in love with it because I saw how it affected first graders and how much they loved a good, funny book. So, you guys are the reason I do books. My author name is Izzy B, but believe it or not, that's not my real name. Okay, that's what we call a pseudonym. Okay, which is a fancy word for a fake name. And there's a reason why. My real name's really hard to spell. My real name is Isaiah Basie. And my last name's really weird. It's all like mixed up and people spell even my own family members spell our last name wrong. So I had to make a choice. I was like, I could go by my real name, but then kids would go to libraries and they'd go to bookstores and they'd have a hard time finding me because they wouldn't know how to spell my name. So I decided to go by Izzy B because my name as a kid, my nickname was Izzy. Everybody called me Izzy as a kid. And I thought that was pretty fitting since I write books for kids. So, I have been writing and illustrating books for 6 years. And this is my family. I have a son who's he's going into kindergarten next year. He's in pre-K right now. And then I have a daughter who's in 2nd grade. And then that's my wife. And that's my dog. And I didn't get to name him. His name is Benji. My children named him because he looks like Benji. Have you ever seen the movie Benji? Yeah. It's a good story. He's a really sweet dog, and he does look like Benji, so I'll give him credit. But I wanted to name him something a bit more creative. But that's okay. That's actually not all my pets. You want to hear all my pets I have? I like animals. I have 2 cats. I have a black cat named Poe and a calico cat named Callie. Also didn't name that one. And then I have a spider named Sparkles. And she is super cuddly. We've actually raised her from a hatchling. It was kind of cool because she was like this big, and now she's about this big, and she's supposed to get to be about this big. So, I really like spiders. I know it's weird, but I think they're fascinating. When I taught 5th grade, I had a pet Brazilian bird-eating spider, and it was this big around. And it was mean. If you don't think spiders have personalities, that was the meanest thing in the world. It was so mean. So I had to get rid of it because my principal was like, you teach elementary students and you have a spider that is really mean. I don't think it's very fitting. So I got rid of it. Actually, that's not really the real reason why. You want to know why? It learned how to open its own cage. Yeah. That's why I had to get rid of it, because it got out, because it learned how to open its own cage. And my principal was like, I don't want the spider crawling around the school. So I kind of got it. Anyway, I started writing books 6 years ago, and this was my first book. And it's kind of silly. I like to write books that make people laugh. I think we need to laugh. Man, do we need to laugh right now more than ever, huh? Yeah, we need to laugh right now, because we don't get enough. And this book has something that is magic. Okay? There is a magic word that makes kids laugh just by saying the word. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't understand. It's worked the past 2 groups. I don't get it. I don't understand this word. Because I don't know what it is about it. But if you say it, usually kids laugh. And the word is underpants. Okay? And you should have seen the last group. I said underpants, and there was a girl back there, and she was like crying, laughing, and I just said that one word. If I was a stand-up comedian for kids, I would literally walk up on stage with a microphone, and I would just go, underpants. And I would be done. Everybody'd laugh. We'd have a good old time. And all I had to do was say one word. But underwear, undies, right? There's all these silly words for it. Skivvies. Okay? But there's one that we don't use a lot. My dad called them these. He always called them tidy whities. That's what my dad called them. He said, hey, man, make sure you get a clean pair of tidy whities on. That's what my dad would say. Sad that he would have to say that, but here we are. Anyway, I thought, I'm going to write a book called A Tidy Whitey Win. And I lived out in the country, and I had animals growing up. And I thought, whoa, what would those animals do if they had underwear? Because animals don't know. We're not teaching them how to wear underpants. So what would they do? What would an animal do? Yeah, okay, well, here we go. I wrote this book, and I thought it was so funny, but I didn't like the illustrations because I got better at drawing pictures. I wake up every morning at like 5 o'clock, and I practice drawing. I wake up really early every morning, and I draw. And I got better at it. And so I had to make a choice. This book makes kids laugh. I'm either going to get rid of this book and never see it again, or I could redo the book. What do you think I did? I redid it. I redrew it. This is it. This is the new one. A Tidy Whitey Win, take 2. Right here. This is the old one. This is the new one. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. I'm making 2 more of these. Actually, 3 more. I have a Christmas version I'm writing called A Tidy Whitey Winter. That's my Christmas one. And I have another one called A Tidy Whitey Win 2, undies at the zoo. It's about zoo animals that get underpants. And then I have another one I'm writing called A Tidy Whitey Twister. And it's underwears that go around the world. Because you know, polar bears need underwear too. Right? That's right. Thank you for agreeing. So after I finished this book, I wrote 3 more. And I have this one called Mr. Marvini's Marvelous Magical Clouds. This is a really silly book. This one is about a magician who has clouds. And whatever liquid you pour into him, it rains down like orange juice. Would that be cool? Grape juice, root beer. That'd be neat.
Yeah,
That would be so fun, wouldn't it? You'd be like, ha. I think it gets sticky. It'd probably get old. It'd probably get sticky, but it'd be fun for a little while. But listen, this book becomes a bit of a problem because there's a dog. And I won't go into detail, but I'll just tell you this dog has to go to the bathroom. I don't know if you've ever taken a dog on a walk. Have you ever taken a dog on a walk?
Yeah.
But if it's my dog, when we take him on a walk, we stop every 5 seconds to do what? He has to go to the bathroom. Well, this dog does too, but he decides to use a cloud. But that's all I'm going to say. Well, let me just say it becomes crazy. This is one of my favorite stories. Anybody in here like Halloween?
Me. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be.
I like Halloween. I think it's okay, but I decided to write one of my favorite stories. It's called Count Spatula. Everybody say Count Spatula.
Count Spatula.
Isn't that fun to say? Spatula. I love the word spatula. I know it's weird. But this book is about a vampire who cooks things like feet loaf.
Ew.
He cooks things like macaroni and sneeze.
Ew.
You like that? All right. Lunch today. We'll have to make some macaroni and sneeze. He likes to make things like snot roast. Yeah, not good. Chili fleas nachos. Anyway, he gets some new mysterious guests to his restaurant, and he's like, I wonder if, I can impress them. So he cooks them some feet loaf. That's what this story is about. All right, now let's talk a little bit about my past. I'm going to tell you about a book. The book that I wrote, Imaginary Fiends, is actually special to me because it's a book about me. That book is about a boy, me, who loses his imagination. And when imaginary friends get neglected, do you know what they do? They become imaginary fiends. And that's what the whole book's about. It's a pretty fun book. But I'm going to tell you why I wrote it, okay? When I started writing books in the 1st grade. And I still have it. Are you ready? This is my book I wrote in the 1st grade. It's called My Dog. And we used to have this thing called Young Authors. And it was my favorite thing in the world. And I wish it was still around. Because you guys would love it. And what you do is you write a book and you illustrate it and you send it into a contest. And if you win, you get to go to a college and see a real life author. And I won my first grade year. Okay? So it's pretty exciting. Guess what happened in second grade? I won again. And by then I was like, I actually would say as a kid I wanted to be an author when I grew up. Because second grade I was like, woohoo, 2 years in a row. This book was called The Boy That Had No Talent. It was actually a book about me because all my friends were really good at sports and I wasn't that good at sports. So I didn't think I was talented. But then I realized I was really good at drawing. So like that's what the whole book's about. And then guess what happened in third grade? I won again. It was called The Horrible Day. One Horrible Day. And then what do you think happened in fourth grade? I won again in fourth grade. Yeah, I won every single year. I was pretty proud. See? I still have it too. It's really special to me. What do you think happened in fifth grade?
You won again.
You think I won again? I didn't win in fifth grade. I was devastated. I can tell you as a kid, this was one of the biggest blows to me as a kid. I was devastated. All my friends who won were like talking about how cool it was and they saw this author and I was just like, but you want to know why I lost in fifth grade? I'm going to tell you why I lost in fifth grade. And this is what inspired the story Imaginary Things. It's because my mom bought me a Super Nintendo for Christmas. I know, video games are pretty cool, but guess what? I played it too much. I was so sucked in to, the game was Donkey Kong, that I actually wrote this book. It is the story of Donkey Kong, but with dogs. I rewrote Donkey Kong, but with dogs. Because it wasn't creative. He said, why didn't you win? It wasn't creative. It wasn't my story. I wrote someone else's story. And that's why I didn't win. So I wrote the book Imaginary Fiends about a boy who plays too much on his screen. He plays too much on his iPad. He plays too much on his video games. And he loses his imagination. Now I want you to know something. I'm not against video games. Okay? I think video games are fun. But we have to do something called moderation. And that's what the book's about. Finding that balance. Yeah. Okay, so you ready to read A Tidy Whitey Wind? Okay. This is my favorite story, and it's okay. We're going to talk a little bit while I read it, because it's kind of silly. Here we go. When the farmer's wife hung some undies out to dry, a burst of whirly wind sent them high up in the sky. And she pulled and tried to hold on tight, but those undies slid. So a tiny whitey wind started blowing overhead. Oh no. Have you guys ever seen that weather phenomenon? You ever seen the weatherman get on, we're coming in here on a tiny whitey wind coming in from the north? You have that old tiny whitey wind blowing by the farmer's wife, and they waved as they went by like those undies came to life. One zipped into the pasture, and it fell into the dew, and now someone's wearing undies, and they keep on saying, what's the cow say? Moo. Moo! What a wonderful udder warmer. You ever wondered what a cow would do with underpants? Here you go. It's an udder warmer.
Where is it?
Well, that old tidy whitey wind kept a blowing by the cow, blew the farmer's undies up, and they're even higher now. One zipped on by the stables and it fell into the hay, and now someone's wearing undies, and they keep on saying, what's the horse say?
Nay.
Nay! Good, good, good. I'm glad we know our animal sounds. Well, this is one nice feedback. Okay, listen. I need to talk to you. Guys, we gotta get our serious face on right now, okay? See how serious I am? Look at this. I'm serious. Don't go home. I'm looking at you. And tell your mom or dad or whoever, watches over you that I gave you permission to eat out of your underwear. Okay? Good. Good. I'm just a little nervous about a couple of you. I said, don't you dare. You take full responsibility. Don't you dare. Okay. That old tidy-whitey wing kept it blowing by the coop, or by the horse. Blew the farmer's undies up on a roller coaster course. Then some undies hit the roof, and the king of crowing flew. He shot high up in the sky, shouting, what's a rooster say? Cock-a-doodle-doo! That's right. A rooster's very loud, just like that bell. Look, y'all, I'm flying. Here we go again. I just gotta pause for just 1 second. It's time to get serious. This is the last time I'll get serious, I promise. And I'm looking at you again. This is very serious. If you are in an airplane and it's starting to go down, promise me you're not gonna get everyone's attention on the plane. Hey, listen, I learned from an author that your underwear can be used as a parachute. Okay, I don't want that on me, okay? You promise? Okay, I just don't want everyone in the plane is going to be like, okay, this might work. No, don't do it. It won't.
I may do it.
I think I set you up for that, but it's okay.
If I had another
Well, that was tidy-whitey wing kept it blowing by the coop. Blew the farmer's undies up in the flood, loop-de-loop. Then one landed in the meadow by the daffodils and straw, and now someone's wearing undies, and they keep on saying, what's a sheep say? Bah! The wolf will recognize me in my new mask. If you have any, if you want some Halloween ideas for next year, there you go. Very affordable. That old tidy-whitey wing kept it blowing by the goats at the farmer's, or sheep. I can't read my book today. Lots of undies went off-road and they covered farmer's Jeep. And then a parrot by a billy and he caught it in his jaw. And now someone's eating undies. And he keeps on saying, Ma. Tasty tidy-whities. Part of a nutritious, well-balanced breakfast.
Yucky.
Right there. Well, that old tidy-whitey wing kept it blown by the goats. Since the farmer's undies up and it left them all afloat. And then the farmer came outside and he gave the goat a glare. Am I intimidating? Is that good? Hey, you silly Billy. Give me back my underwear. All right, take a poll. Who do you think's going to win? Who thinks the farmer's going to win this tug of war? 1, 2 people think the farmer's going to win. Who thinks the goat's going to win? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did you change your mind because everybody else? Stick to it. Stick to what you're going to say.
I think the old man's gonna win.
You think okay, let's see. The old man won, the farmer won. That old tidy-whitey wind seemed to settle on down, and that poor old farmer, he's plucking undies off the animals and ground. And then, something hit his hiney. Shivers shook his knobby knees. His hiney couldn't hide from a tidy-whitey breeze. Oh no! We said the farmer won, but I really don't know because you see what the goat did? He bit a hole in his underwear. So I'm not sure who won. Last class we said maybe it was a tie because I'd be pretty embarrassed. Well, I would love to read it again, but we're going to do something fun. We have a little bit of time. We're going to do something really cool. I'm going to do something kind of magic. Are you ready? Because we're running out of time. I want to make sure we do this. You see this right here? Oh, that's my book. And, alright, I picked on you quite a bit, so I'm gonna redeem myself. Come here. Are you ready to step into the pages of my book? Come here. What's your name? What was it? Okay, come here, bud. Stand right there. You are now inside my book. Look. Isn't that cool? Now watch this. This is even more magic. This will make you disappear. You want to see him disappear?
Yeah.
Okay, some of you are too excited about that. You making some enemies in this class? There's this guy right here. He's banging on his desk. He's so excited to see you disappear. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I can, we can make your head super huge. But now you're the farmer. All right, look at me, bub. Smile. Look at the farmer. All right, I gotta do one more thing. Check this out. Do you like basketball? All right, get ready to slam dunk. Have you ever dunked it before? You gotta dunk it. You got some airtime there, bud. Hold up, I gotta fix this real quick. There, now we can make a better picture. All right, look at me. Smile. Air. You got some air there, man. All right, go have a seat.